Yeah, so let's just get straight into this. Who it would be the first all playoffs NBA team for you?
All right, let's get started with the point guard. This was toughest for me in terms of point guards.
Point guards was tough.
I picked Trae Young.
See, I love the Hawks, but well, go on.
All right, I struggle with Chris Paul on this one. You probably say Drew Holiday. Like Drew Holiday, I think also deserves to be one of the point guard spot. But I think he was exceptional in defensive ways.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, he had ups and downs. So for me, it was either Chris Paul or Trae Young. But I went with Trae Young. The reason why is because it was Trae Young's first playoffs. He hit a game winner in his first playoffs against New York Knicks. That was shocking enough. Remember New York Garden, like the stadium there. People were chanting like Trae is baldy. Like,
yeah.
I don't look.
Trae Young.
F Trae Young. Like okay. Like my dad's okay. Anyways, yeah. Among the discriminations and all that, Trae Young was calm. Trae Young he was there to show up for the team. I think considering that it's first playoffs, carrying us to the conference. Who expected him to be in the conference finals?
I did.
But you're probably like the rare ones. You know what I mean?
A
lot of people didn't. A lot of people thought that they're gonna get knocked out by the Philly, but Trae Young was just exceptional in my opinion. Do you want me to go on with the center?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
just continue with it. We haven't talked about this guy much in our previous videos, and I feel bad because this guy needs some mentions. Chris Middleton.
Yes, Middleton. He does.
Hate to say it, but okay. Anyways, Chris Middleton. I think he had ups and downs, especially in the second round, but almost in every series he came clutch, especially in the Game 7 against Brooklyn Nets. He scored the mid range, the fadeaway that won the game. And the most impactful game that I remember about Chris Middleton is against Hawks in the Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was Hawks away, and he hit a game with he was going crazy. He was just going insane. I don't have the stats right now, but I think it's a clutch. Look, you can say Giannis is clutch too. Giannis is clutch, but Chris Middleton is that man. Is that man when the Bucks need the most. When every time Bucks is down, like against Miami Heat, Brooklyn Nets, Hawks, Suns showed up every single game, every series. He also averaged 23.4 points. I think that deserves him. That makes him in the shooting guard position. Small forward.
It's
no
obvious.
surprise. Like,
it's obvious.
It's Kevin Durant, KD. Class against Bucks. Amazing. Just amazing. I remember him saying, KD was just unstoppable. There's no way you could have stopped KD. Like, you put a PG Tucker on him, you put Giannis on that guy, there's no way you could have stopped him. Especially in Game 7. Obviously, his last shot was disappointing, the air ball. But considering that he played like 52 minutes straight, that's not human. Like that air ball kind of showed that he is human. Like he's not God. But still, he was just unstoppable. No need to talk about Kevin Durant anymore. You guys probably agree. Like, if you guys don't, just I don't know about that. But yeah, power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo, Finals MVP. He dominated defense and offense. As I said, I already talked so much about defense on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Offensively, that's when he gets a lot of highlights, especially in the playoffs. Kind of because of the Game 6 against the Suns, the 50 piece. Just he was just. I don't know. First round, second round, he was kind of shooting the threes, but he's not the best 3-point shooter. Especially in the finals, his mindset, I admire his mindset. He didn't shoot a lot of threes. He was focused. He knew what he was at best. He knew what he was best at, the roller, and pick and roll as a roller. And he was with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. He was getting buckets, and also the free throws. I have to talk about free throws. I have to. He was a poor free throw shooter at some point, but in the finals, man, he was a step. I don't want to call him Steph Curry because that's a disrespect to Steph Curry. But still, he was a very, very good free throw shooter. That gets him to the power 4 spot. My last is DeAndre Ayton. Probably I could have picked him for MIP. I think his playoff series, he was a great center. Especially his pick and roll, as I mentioned in the previous videos. He was a great offensive threat before, but his team up with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, setting a good screen, rolling inside, getting those alley-oops. The alley-oop winner too. That was just amazing against the Clippers. That was
and
very
got blocked
good.
eventually.
Well, in the against the Bucks, yes, in the finals. But against Clippers, he got the alley-oop, and look, he came clutch too. Defensively amazing too, with 4th in total defensive rebounds. So DeAndre Ayton gets my center. So naming again: point guard Trae Young, shooting guard Chris Middleton, small forward Kevin Durant, power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo, center DeAndre Ayton. So let's go with Linus's picks.
Well, we've got some similarities, like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. But the only difference here is I didn't put Drew Holiday on the point guard, even though that's where he played. I put Chris Paul. We have to mention Chris Paul. Like, we can't give all the the Suns credit to Devin Booker. I think it's more Chris Paul, like 60% Chris Paul, 40% D Book. If we have to split it between those two. Chris Paul is the guy. When Chris Paul is locked up, the Suns are locked up. Chris Paul pretty much is the system for the Suns, and the Bucks proved that, obviously, in the finals. And 19 points per game, 8.6 assists per game, with 50-40-90 shooting almost, is just amazing. And 3rd in win shares, estimated 40% of his teammates' field goals were assisted by Chris Paul, 6th in the league. And obviously the key game against the Clippers, Game 6, where he scored 41 points, 8 assists, with 3 steals, 67% field goal, and 7 out of 8 threes made, with plus 22 is just insane. And then shooting guard, we got Drew Holiday, like I mentioned before. His defensive abilities, we don't even need to talk about it. And his clutchness too. I want to mention his clutchness. Like whenever he had a bad shooting night, like against Brooklyn Nets, Game 7, he was terrible offensively. But he made like 3 buckets in a row. That was incredible. And Game 5, coming off such a bad game, I was bashing him on the bus. But Game 5, he showed up. He was like, you know what? I don't need no disrespect from this guy named Linus. I'm gonna light it up, and he lighted up. And he mentioned a lot of the things. So obviously, I'm not gonna talk a lot about Drew Holiday, but Chris Middleton, I want to talk about a little bit more. So his clutchness isn't being talked about enough. 15 shots that are either game tying or go ahead shots in a single in a single playoff run in the 4th quarter or OT is the most in the last 25 years, shared with LeBron James. With the LeBron James. And that's not being talked about enough, Chris Middleton. And then his stats in the clutch is 18 points with 75% shooting in the clutch in the finals. And the closest player had 4 to 18. That's just incredible. Nothing but greatness and clutchness from Chris Middleton. Led the entire playoffs in clutch points. And many people still be like, yeah, but clutch doesn't have to do with greatness or first team. But if I asked you, would Jamal Murray or Duncan Robinson be in the first team last year? Yeah, like nobody would disagree. They'd be like, I mean, yeah, I could see that. What about Curry from the season before? Yeah, obviously. What do these guys and Chris Middleton have in common? They made the most threes in the playoffs. The most threes. So Chris Middleton definitely has to be up there. And obviously, we have to talk about Game 6. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, 69% from field. 69% from field. Nice. 62% from 3 and 92% from free throw. That's just incredible. And how can we forget the Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant? Not much to mention. Like, words cannot describe this. You just gotta watch it. I run out of words to describe him. So I don't want to go in too much of this guy. But I want to go deeper in this guy. Right here. Giannis. 50 points in the finals. Back-to-back 40-plus points and 10 rebounds per game in the finals. 30 points per game, 12.8 rebounds per game, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block with 57% from field in the whole playoffs. That's incredible. That's phenomenal. And what's something more incredible about Giannis is he could be the best offensive player and the defensive player in the same game. And arguably in the whole series or in the whole playoffs. And let me read some more stats. First in total points, first in total rebounds, first in rebounds per game, fifth in total assists, second in total blocks, most field goals made, first in win shares, first in both offensive and defensive win shares, fifth in box plus minus, second in defensive rating. And we cannot forget about the game 6 against the Phoenix Suns, or just any game against the Phoenix Suns, or just any game against the Atlanta Hawks, or Brooklyn. Against the Heat, he kind of struggled, but we don't need to talk about that one. But we gotta put some respect on Giannis's name now. You know, I've been seeing people put Curry over him. I've been seeing people put Kevin Durant. I guess Kevin Durant is more understandable, but putting Curry over him and people not putting him in top 2 is just crazy disrespect. Like every single year, the Finals MVP was either the best or the second best considered by many NBA fans. Like the year before, LeBron James was considered the best player after he won his Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard was. So was Kevin Durant twice. And so on. But when it was Giannis, people were like, nah, not even top 2. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? After all these stats? You're saying he's not? Because he runs and dunks? No, man. But we got to put some respect on Giannis' name now. So yeah, I've kind of gotten off course there, but I'm just kind of mad about how much disrespect he gets. But my team would be Chris Paul, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Kevin Durant, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Thanks for watching Away End on YouTube. To lose more IQ and sports knowledge, subscribe to the Away End channel.